What's up, all you minties? Sorry we're a little bit behind. I was telling Omar a really funny story about a cat in the cradle and the silver moon. But welcome to
Not spoon. Silver moon.
Silver spoon.
It's okay.
Wow. Welcome back to another episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the uncanny Omar.
Hey, everybody. 3 times the charm. That is 3 times you're watching me today if you're watching live tonight. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are going to be talking about The Boys Season 3. We'll be talking about spoilers, of course. And this will be a discussion between Amanda and I and everybody else in the chat. It makes it a lot of fun when people join in and have watched it, what they thought about it. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey Likes Comics? How are you doing? Daniel D. and Brian Hall. Better be some November Rain references. That was a Ragnarok. Ragnarok had the November Rain references.
Yeah, you mean Love and Thunder had those November Rain.
Yes,
we're all
I have
over
not forgotten.
With our references
No
today.
more Guns N' Roses.
Definitely not.
Daniel was not a fan of too much Guns N' Roses.
Exactly. We're not going to be seeing much of that. But if you're just joining us, as Nick says, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Nick. And as Josh reiterates, smash it, guys. Let's go. So we're going to talk about the season 3 of The Boys overall. We didn't get to do a review of the season finale, so we'll briefly touch on that and then just give our overall opinion on how we felt this season compared to the other 2 seasons we've seen previously, and then kind of talk about, what we hope for coming out of season 4, what the showrunner, Eric Kripke, has said he expects us to see in season 4 and moving forward as well.
How many seasons has this been picked up to 4?
Okay, so Eric Kripke, the showrunner, has always envisioned this as being 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
So if that's the case, we only have 2 seasons left.
Butcher, Huey, Mother's Milk, female, Frenchie. So 5 characters. So 2 things, if you've not seen this season, where the hell's Terror? Where's the dog? What happened to my dog?
Yeah, he's still been wondering that. Every time we do a review of one of the episodes, he's like, I haven't seen this dog since season 1.
and did we really kill Stormfront off screen?
I'm pretty sure she was technically already killed off at the end of season 2. She was
she was
a half
functional. She was functional all over Homelander. That's all I'm gonna say. So
yes, but if I was her, I'd be disappointed in Homelander too. But for a lot of other reasons. Oh, wow. Stay cool, Brian.
What's up, London? Don't fall asleep yet.
Yes.
We'll keep you up. I'm sorry about saying that. Hope you've been all right, buddy. So let's jump right into this season. The season starts off with something huge. Lots of laughs, at least for me. Sophomoric humor, but that is some of my favorite type of humor is it Termite?
Termite is his name, yeah.
That was
another little bug name.
That's one of the highlights is when he goes inside of the just some random dudes.
Urethra? Is it the man's urethra? Okay.
It's the male's urethra.
Yeah,
for urethra I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
They do?
Hmm?
I didn't know females had a urethra. I wasn't aware.
We do have a urethra. In fact, how else do we urinate?
Really?
We have a lot of holes compared to you guys.
You weren't expecting to learn that tonight, were you?
Yeah, we got 3 holes. How many y'all have?
Dude, what are you doing?
You have 2. So. There's a lot of my highlight.
You made me shut up, which never happens.
What?
Said you made me shut up with.
Look at that face got all red. I'm just trying to educate the mostly male crowd who's watching us tonight on the Female Anatomy. For anyone who's curious,
it's gonna be funny tomorrow morning when some kids watching it going, "Oh, I love this show." Oh my god, what? Anyway.
No, this starts with a bang. Or
they should be watching the Boys
of shorts because someone can't hold in a sneeze.
Oh, right. That was it. All right. So I'm going to put up the banner here. Boys season 3 spoilers. So that was one of the highlights for me. What about you? What was a highlight for you for the season? Overall, what was the season? What were the hit and misses for you in this season?
So I think one of the definite hits for me, Max even mentioned it, was just, seeing the satire of the boys in our real life in real time. It's so much fun to watch. For example, the Imagine video they do with the Deep, and they get all of those cameos from all those actors in real life, including like Omar's favorite, Kumail Nanjiani, who's just everywhere these days. So it's really exciting to see that.
All I needed was Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy to fill out that trio of actors that would sing during that particular video.
Exactly. And then also just seeing the way Homelander has evolved, how his character has moved forward in this season and starting to take that power, even though it's awful and I hate him and I despise him, like for what he's done and who he is. For the show itself, it's a great story arc, and the parallels it has to the real world are phenomenal, and I love that. So I think that was definitely a hit for me, just watching Homelander as he goes through the episodes, trying and sometimes failing to take control of Vought and be this version, like just be, the guy who gets all the ratings and finally speaking his truth, how horrible it is. So that was definitely a hit for me as well. And I wanted to say that Herogasm was going to be a hit for me, but it wasn't as gross as tawdry as they were touting it to be any less, though.
Things that you wouldn't have seen like already on HBO or Skinamax, right? Like as far as the things you can get away with on cable, it was a little more tamer, and it was definitely tamer than the comic book. But I think that's just. I mean, it was still fun. I thought it was a funny show, especially with when he got the gack all over.
Oh, God. And that long snake.
Oh,
just all over him. And
he's a big character, or he's a bigger character.
Love Sausage?
Sausage, yeah. So
I was glad to see that.
I was glad to see that cameo. Somebody was asking a little bit earlier, how much the comics have they covered in the seasons? Well, they're doing different things, and it's going at a different pace, and they're doing things out of order. I don't know how much of Butcher's background we're gonna get. We don't have flashbacks of Becky or anything like that, so I don't know if we're gonna get into that next season. Because one of my favorite thing about The Boys is the comic is you hate the characters of Butcher, you hate the characters of Homelander. But with Butcher, you get to see his background. You get to see why he is the way he is. We get a little bit of that with his father and his brother, the story of that within this TV show, and I thought that was handled well. But in the comics, you get this whole background story of him that they could do in one episode, just telling, how he met the original guy that formed the Boys and how he got together with them and what drives him. In the comics, he has a pure hatred for the characters of the Seven, and especially Homelander, because of the horrible thing that happened to his wife, Becky.
Oh, yeah.
In this, it was a little bit different because that child survived, and that child now sides with Homelander, and then we'll get to that here in a minute about the ending. So he doesn't have that whole loss as much as he did. He did lose his wife, which is part of that, but it's a little bit different when you lose a wife and child.
Yeah, exactly.
Really quick, thank you so much for the super chat, Nick. If you're going to talk about The Boys, there has to be a thank you super chat. Everyone can support Omar and Amanda, and all by hitting that thumbs up and sharing the stream, enjoying the show. As always, Omar, personally loved episodes 6 to 8 for the great battle. Oh, yeah. One of the biggest highlights for me, and I'm sure Amanda and most of us, was thank you again, Nick, was the big freaking fight between Soldier Boy, Homelander, and Butcher.
Don't forget Huey joined there too.
Okay, Naked Huey did join in. That was Herogasm.
That's my favorite part.
that was Herogasm.
That was Herogasm.
Though it was toned down, sexual, gratuitous humor. Holy crap, we got one of the biggest fight scenes for the whole show. All three of them just duking it out. It was so awesome to see. And that to me was one of the biggest highlights of this season, was seeing these people with superpowers just go at each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and even Maeve, so I know that, so we get to, we talk about the finale, right? Maeve's story has, for all intents and purposes, has come to a conclusion in a way, right?
Yeah, and we kind of we thought that too, right? Like, remember at the beginning when we were reviewing the season, we're like, where is she? Is she
exactly.
are they gonna kill her off screen? Like, or what's gonna happen to her?
Yeah, exactly. So I loved her final, like I loved her final fight with Homelander, even though she's now eyeless. I love that she sacrificed herself. But they're in that Marvel territory where no one actually dies, which is a theme that we see in a lot of properties these days. That no one actually dies when they sacrifice, very rarely, except for maybe Iron Man. But it's good to see that she was able to do that and gets to live out the life with her girlfriend the way she wants to, which I think was wonderful for her. And I do love that actress though, so I would love to see her back. And I could see season 5 in the finale, her returning. Well, I guess she doesn't have powers, so it'd be kind of hard for her to return to do anything. But yeah,
I mean, if she will be, if she's back, then I think she will come back for the final episode.
Yes,
if anything. But yeah, I also thought they were going to kill her off because
me too.
Hardly anybody has a happy ending. So I'm interested to see where we go with the difference in the show and the book. The book is like Game of Thrones kind of writing. Nobody's safe.
Gotcha.
People don't have happy endings. And as a matter of fact, I said this on my overview of book number 3, like, I don't agree with Garth Ennis in the way that it ended because I fell in love with the character so much that I didn't think they needed to be treated that way. So that's a real testament of how well he wrote those characters that I actually enjoyed them. And I feel like that in the show, right? They're definitely more likable. Like Billy the Butcher's a lot more likable in the TV show than he is
in Carl Urban.
Yeah, and he's a real charming guy. And even when he's doing things like he didn't tell Huey about the drug, right? It was, in the end, he still came through. In the book, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's a straight up asshole. Like,
exactly.
How does this keep happening? And then how is he going to redeem himself? Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, that was one of the things that I was, when it came to the end for Butcher's story, because with the season finale, status quo hasn't really changed. Like end of season 2, we did have a distinct change in the status quo, right? It seemed like Maeve and Starlight and the boys and Victoria Newman, all of them had kind of gained the upper hand on Vought. Well, all as a facade, we learned very quickly in season 3, but it felt like they had gained an upper hand, right? Mm-hmm. But now, and then it gets taken away from them throughout the entire season. So you think something's going to be resolved. And it's not. I mean, Homelander just gets to get stronger, and now he has the ability to kill those who don't agree with him, and his followers eat the crap out of it. Like Todd. Todd is awful. I hope that MM's ex-wife does not stay with Todd. She should know better.
Oh,
she should see that in him. Like, love is blind, but there's not that. That's kind of you need to get it together, lady. Like Todd is not it. Leave him.
Crimson Count is not coming back. No, Crimson Count is
not coming back. I
did enjoy her character though.
The Deep's wife's not coming back either. She is done with him. The octopus might though.
Homeland is angry. Dare we talk about the octopus scene? Because oh my god, there have been so many great memes about the Deep and his.
Where did you get that? That is phenomenal.
Somebody said that to me. Like a character that was, a creepo in season 1, right, with Starlight, and then eventually devolved into kind of like the joke, right, of like the whole show. And then it just gets, especially this season with the octopus and the eating his friend, and then his wife. It's like, hey, do you want to join us? Like, maybe it's time we spice up our marriage.
The wife's like, no.
She's like, no. I love that. For a character that overstayed his welcome, I thought, past season 1, because I really thought he was going to get killed in season 1.
Agreed.
I thought that, okay, I see what they're doing with him now. You got to keep that kind of character around.
I agree very much so. Rick Ray said that he really likes the show, but unfortunately, Eric Kripke is doing what he did with Supernatural, which was continuously propagated status quo, so the show could run for many seasons. Well, that's true, but they do have.
Wait! Time out, really quick. Is Eric Kripke? He was the showrunner of Supernatural.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Granted, I've only seen like 3 episodes of Supernatural, but this is a completely different vibe and tone that I get from this show than Supernatural. Yeah. Not hating on it or any of the fans. I'm just saying.
But it makes sense why Jensen Ackles was casted as
and he was great as Soldier Boy.
Perfect casting.
He was so oh my god, and the granny scene had me cracking up, dude.
Oh gosh. Well, no, I loved how he's a man at a time, like Captain America, but not in a good way, right? Captain America was a man at a time, but he had morals. This guy has zero. And
the discussion about there were so many funny things. Like whenever you take a man at a time, and he's talking about racist and homophobic things, and Huey's like, no, you can't say that anymore. Like, we can't. No.
Yeah.
And he's like, the internet. What's the?
Yeah, or when he saw the commercial of the guy with the baby in the pack, and he's like, what were men? Were men? And I was like, what is wrong?
Oh my!
That is so like of that time though for him, and that makes sense.
But the best was with the 2 elder ladies at the Legends. That's when he was like, what did he say about red wine and dry? I thought that was so brilliant. This show is so good. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Peacemaker, right? I didn't expect with Peacemaker to have a deep story and make me feel for the characters. And I find that in The Boys for each season. I think this season in particular was better than the last season.
I agree.
And I love Stormfront. I love what she brought to the show.
And that showdown with all of the female superheroes and Stormfront, that was great.
That was awesome.
It was amazing. But yeah, this one definitely, though, they did play a black and white.
Crack me up, man.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you just made up those words. Made fun of Captain America where he came. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But yeah, this season definitely was a lot stronger, I think, than the second season for sure. Just because it is giving us a direction of where we're heading now, as far as we only have 2 seasons left. And what is that final showdown going to look at?
So we're looking at 5 seasons altogether?
Yeah, if Eric Kripke and Amazon, because they already have a spinoff, right? So we have obviously Diabolical, the animated, but there is The Boys Varsity. It's a spinoff.
I thought somebody told me they were doing the G-Men, I think.
Maybe. But they're going to be, I just read there's going to be a crossover between the main Omar Loves Stormfront.
Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Yo, exactly. America Chavez and the girl that played Miss Marvel, they were with David Gabriel. They were at the resort this weekend. He was like, they were here. And I was like, that's
amazing. Awesome. That's really cool.
I like both of those actresses. I thought they were great. So back to this though.
Yes.
I like to stay at a resort with these people because they seem like a lot more fun.
Yeah. Have you seen their behind the scenes like photos and stuff?
I'm sure
they're fantastic.
Having a blast with this show.
Yes.
So the one thing that that they can't do from the comics is like the Huey story where he goes back to Scotland, right? Like Wee Huey story. Because that's never been touched upon here on the show, so I'm sure that's skipped. So if next season they need something to pad out for the big fight of season 5, then I think that's where they have to get into the background of all the characters.
I agree.
Including Billy the Butcher, including Mother's Milk, including the female, and the female has this kick-ass background that they've kind of touched here and there.
Yeah,
but I love a whole episode dedicated to her. Because in the comics, it's done in like a Japanese horror style. And that's what I would love to see on television, or through streaming. Yeah. What other things were highlights for you for this season? And then we can talk about the lows, the things we were like, oh, that could have been done better.
Okay, so I really loved, so we got to see a lot more of Black Noir this season, obviously, in the last couple of seasons, right? He was kind of just a stoic character off in the background who you're always a little afraid of. Because he just seems like he's that ominous character. But we got to see him kind of front and center because we realized, just like several of these superheroes. He doesn't seem to age that fast, and he's been on the team since he was on Payback with Soldier Boy, and we learn about his backstory with Soldier Boy through the use of these animated characters as this part of his psyche, right? Because he used to go to this pizza chain that reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese. And so it's kind of how he deals with the trauma in his life, a trauma that a lot of it was attributed to Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy really was an asshole to his team. So there's a lot of justification for them doing what they did. Black Noir was the one who kind of Stan Edgar asked him to do it. He agreed because, you know, he kept Black Noir from doing things because he wanted to be front and center. And he's also the one who, you know, disfigured him as well. Right. And just seeing him play all that throughout in those animated sequences, wonderful. But my only missed opportunity is I was, you know, not missed, but he comes back expecting Homelander to help him. And then he's so unceremoniously killed off. I really thought we were going to see just the way he was killed off. Did he not realize that when Homelander asked him if he knew that Soldier Boy was his father, he wouldn't have just was like, it's okay, nothing's going to happen. And then he punches a hole right through him and kills him.
Did anybody else that had read the comics, did that death remind anybody of, I don't want to spoil this because I don't know how many people have read the comics or are going to read the comics after watching the show. But there was a character that got killed off by Billy the Butcher in a very similar way after said character did something horrible that you just don't do in comics or in real life. And it reminded me of the way that Black Noir died, but instead of Butcher, it was Homelander killing him. You know, like his guts are spilling out, like he's just ripping them out. Yeah. That's why, oh man, it's a powerful scene in the comics where Butcher's just like, why'd you do? He's asking a question. Why'd you kill so-and-so? Why'd you kill so-and-so?
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal who it is, but that scene in the comic, I was like, oh my God, that was rough to read. And in this, it reminded me of it, but in this, they gave that particular scene, it feels like to me, to Homelander to kind of make him more evil.
Yes. And it definitely pays off in the end when you see what he does to that Starlight follower that he just, you know, lasers the head off real quickly.
Oh, so,
yeah. He's done playing, you know, for the camera. He's done with it. He's going to be.
Oh man. And he lives it up at the end when he realizes people didn't care that he blew.
And they cheered for him.
They were cheering for him. And he's like, oh, I no longer have to pretend to be somebody's pet.
Yeah.
People like me.
I don't have to deal with people who disagree with me.
Dude, that's dangerous next season. I can't wait where it's going to go. I love whenever they lean into the pathetic and desperate side of Homelander.
Yes.
From Arrested.
He is Gob. Yeah, except if Gob but God, if you could imagine Gob having powers, I don't even want to.
Who the heck is Gob? You mean Job?
Job, sorry.
Sup, Omar, man, a great show as always. Love the show reviews. Cheers. Could I get a quick birthday shout out? Keep up the
happy birthday.
Man, they gave you a super chat. You know what that means. You got to sing happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños in Spanish.
Feliz cumpleaños. Feliz.
Nope. Those are even.
Nope.
That's okay. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Seeing Homelander click Black Noir is just sad and depressing.
It was sad and depressing, especially with the animals telling him he was going to go, you know, to the great beyond and.
And then the animals stopped talking. That was kind of a sad moment. Like,
it was.
It was like somebody turned the TV off, and it's just really dying.
But now I know that so Eric Kripke has said the actor who's inside the suit when we're, you know, during the present day stuff, his name is Nathan Mitchell. This is the gentleman right here next to the actress who plays Kimiko, and of course Jack Quaid who plays Huey. Mm-hmm. So he's in the suit, but y'all remember. This is the guy from the flashbacks. His name is Fritzy Clevens Destin. So
Why did they cast somebody? Is the other guy not an actor? He's just like a body double?
No, he is an actor, and he is going to be in the next season. But he's teased that Black Noir is returning, but it's going to be a different type of Black Noir. So what I'm guessing is Homelander's going to because since the public doesn't know Black Noir, he killed Black Noir. He's probably going to put someone else in the costume, and he's going to be a very different type of character. But Nathan Mitchell will still portray him, and we'll probably see him take off his mask and stuff more because he's no longer a disfigured.
He'll be playing a different character.
Yeah, he'll be different. Yeah, a different character. So we'll probably see him take his mask off.
What's up, Phoenix?
I hear comedic vibes, and things like that.
Good, because
that's a great question, Tevia. How are they going to stop Homelander? Because Soldier Boy's, as we know, Soldier Boy, they had their epic fight in Vought Tower, which of course is now semi-destroyed and has to be fixed.
That fight between Maud and Homelander was awesome too. Choreographed well. And when he takes his thumb into her eye, I was like, oh, damn, that looked. You know, I mentioned the dildo fight with Kimiko.
I love that dildo fight. That's another highlight for me because she used those dildos very well in that fight sequence.
Yes, she did. But even those, that was violent as hell. But in this, I thought, oh my gosh, man, when he pops that eye, woo, that was rough. I thought he was going to kill her. I mean,
I did too.
And I mean, honestly, that's what the whole world sees at the end of season 3. But yeah, I thought she was gonna die, man. It was a really good fight. It was choreographed well, and the special effects were on point for this show, honestly.
Oh yeah, even with
I can think of just a couple of things that
you weren't a fan of.
No, and not really many. For the most part, it was just really well done. Let's see. I felt so bad for Black Noir by the end. I think that was the point, right? Like, you're supposed to feel pity for this character. He's writing down like all these things to Homelander. You could just tell Homelander's face, this is not going to have a good ending for this guy.
Exactly.
Is Billy Butcher going to scorch Earth similar to his comic counterpart? I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because by the end of the season, right, we find out. So Billy already found out from Starlight in the last episode when she called him up to warn him about him and Huey still taking the V-24, that it basically turns your brain into mush, right? And that's the reason why he basically stops Huey from taking it. Luckily, Huey comes to his senses, him and Starlight make up, and then he actually, instead of trying to take the V to help, he does what he does best and helps Starlight do better by increasing the lights in that final battle scene with Homelander, or with Soldier Boy. And she's able to, which kind of gives the idea that we're kind of playing up that she may be someone who in the end could defeat Homelander maybe. And there's going to be a fight between them at some point when she becomes super powered to the extreme. But when he finds out by the doctor, he has like 18 to 24 months left to live. That's two seasons right there. We already know it's 2 seasons worth of shows, but it's,
quick math.
Yeah, quick math. Right. But he's gonna have to really prioritize by the end of it, we know Victoria Newman has become the VP candidate, right? So she's doing her dirty work from the inside, and she could potentially be in one of the highest seats of the country. Homelander's still out there now with Ryan, who Butcher. Why did he push him away early in the season is beyond me. Like because that,
Billy Butcher is not a good guy. And that's the thing. Like, you want to believe him, you want to trust him, but at the end of the day, he's also the supervillain.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the beauty and the multi-layer of the show. I think this is the first comic book adaptation I've seen where people aren't complaining. It's different from the comic.
Yeah.
No, because it's good to. I think it's great to like both. Like, you can like the comics and like the show. I think it's a. They're obviously taking a lot of liberties with the source material, but that's okay. I think it's working for this type of show. At the end of the day, it's still The Boys, though. It's still like these characters are the way they're supposed to be. So do you think in the next season they're going to replace, like, we'll get a whole new 7? And then we can actually we'll come back. We'll
come back to that.
We'll come back to that question. Let's talk about the end.
The showrunner has talked about some of that stuff, and we can talk about what he's mentioned. So, but as far as, Butcher's story ending, he finds out he has the 18-24 months, And he comes back to the boys. Annie, of course, has left the 7 by now. She is welcomed open arms to the boys. She even throws her her old superhero suit down the antiquated trash chute in that.
Why did she put it in a trash bag, man?
That's a great question. Someone else could just pick it up and wear it and pretend to be Starlight. And so she's now officially part of the boys. Even Butcher accepts her. I am surprised they all welcomed Butcher back with open arms, though. I really thought at the end of it he would kind of be a little alienated from the group because he made a lot of decisions that, while for Huey didn't go far enough that he couldn't be redeemed. But I almost feel like for Mother's Milk and stuff, maybe Butcher had went too far to be redeemed, but maybe not. But we'll see in season 5. So you see him coming back to that, and the boys are all back together. So we probably won't next season, unlike this season. So this season we saw a lot of the boys separated, right? Kimiko and Frenchie had their storyline where they were kind of, getting closer, and Kimiko is kind of finding herself and realizing things about herself that maybe she's, it wasn't that the superpowers made her a monster. She was already, made into a monster before she even had the superpowers, and she needed them to help her friends because at the end of the day, she cares about her family and who her family is. And then her and Frenchie and their connection. You had Huey and Butcher kind of went off the deep end. Mother's Milk is, going through his own trauma, knowing that Soldier Boy's back. He's teaming up unlikely with Maeve and with Starlight, 2 superheroes.
That was nice to see. It's characters with each other that aren't normally together throughout this whole season. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because in other shows like Stranger Things, a lot of people complain it works best when all the cast is together and playing off each other, and people are like, oh, this storyline was weaker than this storyline when you're talking about season 4, right? And how they go off on the different journeys. But you don't really see that in this show. Even with Frenchie and Kimiko, when they're off by themselves, it's still a strong story that's being told, especially on Frenchie's viewpoint and what he went through as a child.
Oh yeah.
And with Nina, I mean, that's and the beautiful choreographed dance scenes. I know they can be people might think they're hokey, but they're just wonderful inside Kimiko's mind.
I normally think things like that are hokey and cringy, but for some reason it worked here because it is in her mind. It wasn't like they broke into a musical or anything. So initially in the comics, Mother's Milk needed milk, right? And now Homelander, especially with the cow.
Oh god.
What's up, J-Man? This is one of the few times where I never read the comics, but I'm enjoying the show. Dude, read the comics too. They're just as good, man.
Yeah.
Amazon scoring high in comic book adaptations. The Boys, Invincible. Let's see where Paper Girls. Oh yeah, I'm very excited. Dude, Paper Girls was so good.
I'm really hoping that they do Paper Girls justice.
I hope it doesn't go the route of Why the Last Man.
Well, that was.
I don't think the showrunners understood the concept of that show.
I remember watching Why the Last Man. I said, "This is where are we? What is happening?"
Is there a Magneto comic book story you will recommend? Yes. Read Magneto. Magneto. It's issue 150 on Uncanny X-Men, and also read there's a lot of classic X-Men. The Testament story is pretty good. I know we're talking about the boys. I'm so sorry. But there's also the classic stories where he's in the concentration camp are excellent. If you classic X-Men trade paperbacks, there's 2 of them. Get those. In the Flatiron building where damage
Flatiron building.
Oh, thank you. Flatiron building was where damage control was based in the comics. Crossover time. Go ahead, Panda. You hit that.
Oh no, you're fine. No, I didn't mean to hit something. If I did. Okay, now wait back on the boys.
Yeah, so to me, I think this was one of the strongest seasons. I know it's crazy to say because there's only 3 of them, but I think this is my favorite season. I love season 1. Season 1 of The Boys knocked it out of the park. I think this season was better. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the season. I think it was
my new things I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
Not enough to complain about or bring it down, but yeah, I really enjoyed the season.
Yeah, I really liked that. I just liked the overall story arc for it. At first, after I watched it, I was like, well, this, nothing really changed. in the status quo of the season. That's disappointing. But then I realized it can't always be where our heroes get the upper hand at the end and then it all gets ruined in the next season, right? This is almost like it's like your Infinity War where they lose, but now they have to come back and try to win again in season 5 because they officially lost in this season. Like they didn't kill Soldier Boy, they didn't kill Homelander. Victoria Newman is in a place of power, will be probably by next season in a place of power, and they lost Ryan. So for all they're down for the count at the end of the season. Nothing has really changed except at least they are more connected now together as a group. And they know what their mission needs to be at this point. And there's not going to be, let's try doing it the right way and working for this federal agency. And let's go off on they're going to be more focused on what they need to do. So I think that'll make season 4 really interesting going forward. That and what's going to happen to the 7 because it's just A-Train and the Deep.
I will say the only disappointing thing, I was expecting either Soldier Boy or Maeve to die, but at the end, both of them are left open, off the show for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but left open to come back to, to come back. I was hoping that one of them would get killed off.
Well, and that is interesting because on a show with so much death and so much gore, the lack of deaths, like for main characters or fairly significant characters this season, is pretty shocking. I mean, it's Black Noir, and then that vice president candidate. As far as the end of the episode,
he drowned. That was an accidental drowning.
An accidental drowning. I'm still not quite sure. Besides talking to animals, what the Deep's. I guess he can stay underwater for a really long time.
Talking to animals, he's doing a lot more than talking to animals.
True. Yes.
Is Maeve a human now? Yes. At the end of season 3, she is a human.
So the same thing that happened to Kimiko happened to her. Basically, I think that's how she's maybe survived in a way, because even Kimiko, while she was hit full blast and had that huge, she still healed just slowly, right? So I think this happened to Maeve. I don't know how she fell and survived, but yeah, maybe she was caught by something.
Out of the 3 Omnis, where are they at on the show compared to the Omnibus? I think they're. Let's see, Hero Gasm was the beginning of the second Omnibus, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're probably about halfway, if not more than halfway done. But like I said, not every story is going to be adapted, like the Huey story, because he's not from Scotland. Unless they do have some kind of background story with Huey and his friends. But I don't know how that would even help the show grow his character more. If anything, I think next season what they might do is focus on characters. Like each character will get an episode to themselves, like Butcher's background. Then you get the female's background. And even Starlight will have her own, just focusing on one character. I kind of like to see that. I know some people probably see that as padding it out. But if we're going to make it 5 seasons, that's the only approach that I would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're already starting to see Butcher's backstory. I'd like to see a little bit more. I think next season now that Ryan's with Homelander, and we all saw his smirk at the end of the finale.
Oh, yeah.
He's liking the attention. He's liking that there's a man out there who wants him to be his son. He wanted to be Butcher, but Butcher, because he's just a can't do anything right guy, didn't do that for him. So you're going to have to see Butcher struggle with that because now he's basically, his promise to Becky isn't fulfilled. So I think we're going to see a lot of him and Becky. We already saw his dad and his brother's suicide on the show this season. So we got to see that backstory and how he became the Butcher we know and love today. But I think we're going to see more of Becky's background, him and Becky next season for sure. We have to.
And I'll be honest, what I want to see is a flashback with the original 7, like some of the classic 7 characters, maybe like an original Deep looking like the Deep in the comics with the stupid underwater helmet that he's got. Oh, and I can't remember the guy with the torch. What was his name? Or the Martian Manhunter character, Jack from Jupiter. Like
Right.
characters from the comics that haven't appeared. Somebody was asking who I'd like to see. I'd like to see like the original 7, like a flashback meeting the original boys team. That would be really cool.
That would be, unless they make those characters current day characters.
Which they very well could. Lamplighter,
yeah.
Thank you. Lamplighter. Thank you all. Hey, I gotta run. Literally evening run. Go run, brother. Go run.
Go run.
Hey, be good, Nick. Thank you again.
Yes,
if
thank
Butcher's
you so much.
dying, will he go full soup? That's the big
one
question.
last time. I guess he can only take it so
finale.
much before his brain goes completely meh.
I will say I really hope that this show, much like the comic, is completely unexpected and will go in ways that people don't think it will go.
Yeah.
I think that would really make the show stand out. That's kind of one of the things about Game of Thrones, the first early seasons that stood out about it, was you didn't know who was going to live, but you also didn't know the way the show was going to go. You didn't know the routes people were going to take. You, in your head, immediately think, oh, so-and-so is going to avenge the death of so-and-so. That's the way these things work out. And that was the beauty of Game of Thrones. And I think, in a way, that's what makes The Boys work. You can think it's going to go one way. You can think you know who's going to survive and who's going to have a happy ending. But in the end, it's whoo.
I'm not hopeful it's going to be Hugh and Starlight. I just feel like that doesn't make sense because they are the couple that keep coming back to each other. But I could be wrong. They could keep them to be the conventional happy ending and leave everyone else kind of up in the air about what their endings look like.
I'm interested to see where the showrunners decide what they decide to change from the comic. Yeah. But this season kicked ass. Loved it. I love the ending.
Yep.
Like I said, very small gripes about the entire season from beginning to end. A lot of fun. Oh my gosh.
I agree.
And it's just, gore, dark humor, psychotic superheroes. And on top of that, like, it's a freaking awesome, like, almost like a character study on these particular superheroes.
Oh, particularly like Homelander and like everyone. Each story is perfectly.
What's her name? Pulling her hair out, wearing a wig by the end.
Ashley, yeah. I like her small mercy to Maeve by deleting that footage of them helping her into the van at the end of the fight, so that Homelander and everyone at Vought thinks she's dead by deleting that footage permanently. Little small mercy from Ashley, who's otherwise just hanging on by a thread, man.
What's up, Bren? It's oh my gosh. I mean, it's fearless, right? In the way that it makes fun of the things that are going around now.
Yes.
Like poking fun of all the things that people take too serious. I love that. Like, that's my type of humor. Life is way too serious to be taken seriously, but it seems like these days everybody takes everything seriously.
Exactly. And they don't pander one side or the other. They don't. They satirize everyone. It doesn't matter who it is.
It's definitely fair game. And on top of that, the emotional connections that you get through this freaking ultra violent show. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of Peacemaker. I loved it. I can't wait till the next season. Damn it. I can't believe I have to wait another year.
Yeah, because they just are early in the stages of season 4, right?
Josh, you did call Ashley in a wig. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Poor Ashley.
Amanda, and anybody else that has seen this show, what would you give season 3 as a whole?
Ooh, this is a really strong season for me. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. And for me, give this a 9.5, almost a 10. A couple little minor gripes, but 9.5. It was the best season so far. It was freaking fun. Made me laugh out loud.
Yep.
And still told one of the best stories of The Boys. Yeah.
Agreed.
So, anybody else that has seen it, by all means, please leave your comments.
Yep. We've got I love Mario said he hated Todd more than Homelander. I agree, Mario. I also hated Todd more than Homelander and Soldier Boy. And I was really happy when MM punched the it made me so happy. James gave it a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Patrick gave it a 9 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, man.
Maybe gave it a 5 out of 5 stars.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Round it up.
Dinosaur, 9.5. Now Patrick said the finale felt sort of lackluster. You're not the only one who felt that way.
I think compared to previous two, absolutely, but still, that fight scene between Maude and Homelander and the uncertainty of some of these characters, I was in it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Could have been better, of course, but
yeah, of course. Yeah, 9.5. Hey, William Shatner's painting portfolio, 8 out of 10.
I love that. I really hope this guy's friends with one of my other viewers whose name is Sir Leonard Nimoy's music career.
Yes, I hope so.
So awesome.
Josh, 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, we've got a lot of strong ratings. James said that Carl Urban said that season 4 will start filming at the end of August.
Good. Can't come soon enough.
Which is good. Yes, that's the wonder. I'm sure they probably already have like the first few episodes written out, and then they're just going to start filming and then finish out the rest of the writing as they go.
What's up, King's Portal Cow? How you doing, brother? Hey. Season 3, solid 8.
Yeah.
A complete hero gasm out of poor Timmy.
Oh, poor Tim. Black
Noir's death. We talked a little bit about that. It reminded me when Butcher killed a character in the books. That's what it reminded me of. The way that the character was being Butcher just held him up and was just like gutting him. Oh, that's one of the most powerful scenes in the book. And I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't read it, but that scene was freaking awesome. Especially because the freaking character deserved it, because you don't do that.
Yeah. And I just thought that it was not, it was disappointing because I felt like they were playing up Black Noir and he would have had a better ending than that. So
they need to get rid of the deep, hate that character. I was in agreement with you in season 1, but you know what? It gave me things like this, so I'm okay.
You can't complain. I don't know where they're going to go with him in season 4. I don't like his path seems so unsure to me. A-Train, he gets a new heart. It turns out to be Blue Hawk's heart. How awful. What an awful turn of events that is. He wants his brother to train him again. His brother wants nothing to do with him because he didn't want him to kill Blue Hawk, right? He wanted him to see justice. And it's so interesting, like, because these superheroes, they're so jaded and so warped by this point. They don't even know what the real justice is, right? They don't know what justice is. This, like, Captain America wouldn't have killed him. He would have given him justice. And
right.
That's not, like, it's just, I don't, like, A-Train, if he survives season 4, I'll be surprised.
I'm surprised he's lived this long.
I agree, too.
How did Maeve leave? She was depowered. By end of this season, she didn't have any powers. What up,
I chalked up the same reason why Kimiko still survived even after she was shot straight through the stomach.
Oh,
yeah. It's just like their powers gave them enough to like make it, but then they don't have any powers. That's my thought.
So in this with Ryan, so you're asking thoughts on Ryan being Superboy in this universe, similar to my boy Jonathan Samuel Kent. Superboy, but being twisted by his father. Here's the thing. If you really want to stick to the landing of Butcher not being a good person, the next season is going to be, the big fight between father and son. So Ryan and Butcher, because, of course, Homelander's going to manipulate him. And I think that's when people are going to find out how messed up Butcher is, and he'll probably end up killing Ryan, like snapping his neck or something. And this is like, there are rules, though, on television. I don't know if this has changed, and somebody can please correct me, that, what is it? An adult cannot kill a human or a human child on screen.
Yes.
But a child can kill another child on screen, and a child can kill an adult on screen. But I think the rules still, and on television, I don't know if this applies to streaming.
Yeah.
But a adult cannot kill a human child on screen.
I think that's right, because I remember how big of a deal it was when Rick Grimes shot the zombie child in the premiere of Walking Dead.
But
remember that?
The loophole was that she was
dead.
She was dead already.
She was an undead. Yeah, she wasn't really. Yeah.
Because the one thing I remember was Jennifer, which is based on Bruce Jones' story in Creepy Magazine, who was a what's it called? It was a Masters of Horror episode where a kid is eating another kid. I know that Showtime at the time got some big in trouble. Like, what?
Oh wow.
What are you all doing? But then they used that rule of look, it's a kid killing another kid, so it's fine.
On streaming, I don't think what cable network, what higher up corporation what standards? They don't really.
I think he'll come back. I think the guy Soldier Boy is definitely coming back. I mean, they're frozen. The Winchester Soldier Boy. Wish they made him a full character on the show. I'm sure you will see him again. Starlight was built up to be basically Punch SB. Would have been rad if he got temp blinded or blasted through the walls of Soldier Boy.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Building up.
I think it's a tease for her future, what she can do and what she's capable of. Mm-hmm. And they'll go further the next 2 seasons.
The difference between this and Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones kills off characters more often. The Boys doesn't go heavy into that, but the writing is definitely there and only get better. Yeah, you're right. It does help that Game of Thrones had a huge cast to begin with, and they kept adding and more and more characters. So I guess it was easier to kill characters left and right. Whereas this, you only have 5 main characters that you're really supposed to care about, and then you expand from that. How many people from Supernatural show will be showing up to showrunner create a Supernatural show? What's his brother's name? Isn't he Walker, Texas Ranger?
No, he's busy. Unless they cancel Walker, Texas Ranger. Jared Padalecki has his hands full, and then I don't know who the guy who plays Crawley. I don't know what he's up to. So, and that's as far as it goes. In my knowledge, Supernatural.
That's a lot more than I know.
Well, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played
Negan?
Yeah, Negan on Walking Dead. He was also the comedian in Watchmen, right? He was their father on the show. He could show up. I could see him being a character they'd want to portray in some aspect.
He could be the original guy that picked Butcher out of prison to join him.
See?
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, they could make Jeffrey D. Morgan a spot there. He doesn't have to have a full lead star, full-time regular season role, but
I think the lowest rating we've seen so far from our viewers has been an 8 out of 10.
That's it, yes.
That's pretty good for a show. Vought Corporate will use Ryan to sell toys and cartoons. Like any corporation, you'll see him in a suit. I am your fault. Do you think the boys will be soups? I think some of them will be addicted to it, honestly, and then that will be probably next season. Vader broke a team's neck in Kenobi. Did he?
What?
I watched Kenobi. When did that happen?
We did. I'm trying to think about when he broke a kid's neck.
Like a teenager's neck? 19? That's still no child, though. I don't remember that, honestly. What a terrible superhero name will they give Ryan? Oh, yes. Didn't Butcher kill the baby soup after using him as a laser beam? I can't remember. You can't deny that Butcher and Homelander teaming up wasn't cool. Okay, that was cool. Look at the flowers, Ryan.
Yeah, look at the flowers.
Yeah,
they killed her off screen. That's right. Yeah,
freaking awesome, dude. Okay, I hear Omar, but showing Butcher's face and you hear clear snap would be worse than. Oh yeah, absolutely. No way they're gonna do it. But I mean, if you see him kill that kid off screen,
they brought up the Carol that she killed that child off.
Yeah, but that was off screen, right? Like she was like, look at the flowers and.
Yeah, but you knew what happened. You heard the gunshot.
Of course, you heard a gunshot. You know.
But it would be the same thing with that if you're only looking at Butcher's face.
Yeah. I know.
It'd be the same concept. It's still
Homelander sacrificed himself to save Ryan. Hell no. That dude is evil, and I want him to remain evil. He ain't sacrificing himself for
no.
Which really surprised me with some. That was one of the things that I think I did not like about the season, which is a very minute thing, was giving him too much humanity. Like the whole thing with his father, the connection with Soldier Boy and trying to be accepted. I was like, oh no, I want Homelander to just stick to being evil.
And just want the ratings and be a narcissist, like the extreme narcissist he is.
I'm intrigued on how Stan Edgar is going to get his company back from Homelander.
Yeah, because especially now that his adopted daughter is kind of in league with Homelander, I think she thinks that she's, she can still get out from under him, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who's more powerful, her blowing up heads or him. I don't know who's more powerful.
I think him.
Yeah.
I kind of hope we get more Soldier Boy next season somehow. Was a very charismatic screen presence.
Yes.
Dude cracked me up, but if they bring in like Love Sausage and make him a bigger character, I think he would steal the show too. I think he spoke to the director and he'd be down to play a character. Are we talking about Dean?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think is what he's talking about.
Crowley's in Doom Patrol as the magician. Oh, that guy that you just mentioned.
Yeah, Crowley. Yeah, I remember the actors.
There's another show that we both love that we haven't reviewed since season 1. Is that coming back?
I need to catch up on Doom Patrol, I think.
I haven't finished season 3. I
did not finish season 3. So that would be maybe we can do that in an interim where we have some free time. Hey, let's catch up on Doom Patrol.
Maggie from Walking Dead was in Supernatural. Venom killed kids, kinda. Right, yeah. They showed like
teenagers.
The lightings and lights went off and
they
what was that? Misha Collins Castiel is going to be in Gotham Knights. Can we already do it? Was it really that bad on Gotham Knights? Because it looks so bad.
I don't know how it's going to
Vader was walking through a village and just uses the Force to snap somebody.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like one of the Jedi kids. It was when he showed up and looking for Kenobi in town, broke a teen snack, and dragged the mom through the streets. Guess we really didn't know how old the kid was. I think it happened in episode 2.
Like it's not like he killed Leia, who is definitively a child. Like,
yeah, that would have been first of all, then you're retconning the entire
yeah, exactly. But no child of that height, size, or age was killed.
I don't get why so many were disappointed. I thought it was a very entertaining finale.
I heard some people think it was rushed, the season finale of The Boys, and I guess I could see that. It really did get right down to the final battle. To get us to the end game to see where everyone's at by the end of the finale. So I could see where people might think it's rushed a little bit, but I think that was some of the main complaints I've heard.
Okay. I could be wrong, but I think next season Huey might lose a leg or permanently damage from Homelander. I think Homelander is going to start hurting everyone around him. I honestly would like to see that. Surprised Homelander cares about his own son, Ryan, giving his connection to Stormfront, who was literally a Nazi.
Yeah.
You are correct. The sausage got burned. Love Sausage made it out. He was one of the few people that made it out of that orgy. All the CW series might be in danger of being canceled next year. Become the CW network purchased by Nexstar Media Group. I've not heard that. No, Lord Vader, a.k.a. Anakin, killed Yinglings in Revenge of the Sith and Kenobi. Stabbed Reva and killed her friends.
Yeah. Again, most of it was like off screen.
I mean, it was the lightsaber, right? In Revenge of the Sith, we just saw the lightsaber and then it went to dark.
It's all insinuated,
right, because your mind makes it a lot worse, right? That's the beauty of editing. Like, it makes it a lot worse.
It's edited well. It's so true.
Unlike some movies that we saw recently.
Yes.
Love and Thunder. Stan Edgar, after finishing his store examinations for Pollos Hermanos, I read that as Polos, will get back to work at Vought.
Yes.
Gotham Knight looks like a train. Dude,
a TV show.
I don't want to hate on a show before it starts, and I'm really going to these things with an open mind. But I got so excited when they announced Gotham Knights. And then when I saw the little clip and the teaser, I was like, oh, that's right. These people read comics. You should review Gotham Knights, ironically, like Mystery Theater 3000. But then what happens if we end up loving it? Like Amanda gets a tattoo of Gotham Knights because it's like her favorite show ever.
Has yet to happen on DC property. Maybe Peacemaker, maybe. I still love that soundtrack. Or like
I have hashtag Snyder Cut on my chest because I love
that. I have no doubt of.
Justice League was so good.
So let's quickly talk about what we expect for season 4. So the showrunner, Eric Kripke has kind of talked about how basically, for Butcher, he, next season it's going to become he's faced with immortality and he has to start really thinking about what's really important to him and what do you do with the time you have left. So that's going to be a question on Butcher's mind for season 4. Okay. And that's why I think we're going to be seeing his past explored more in season 4, because now he's what's more important. He has to get Ryan out of out of, Homelander's gas. He has to destroy Homelander, and they still have to solve the Victoria Newman issue. So that's going to be an issue that they're going to have to deal with. And then he did mention talking about having to replace the Seven. So that's going to be a big thing.
Doesn't mean who's left. We got Homelander. We've got the Deep.
That's it.
A-Train?
And A-Train. Yeah, A-Train's still there. He has a new heart, so he's superheroed up again.
So then that's 4 slots opened for some more crazy, zany type of characters.
So we're gonna have a whole host of new characters we're gonna introduce to next season right off the bat, I'm sure.
Is it called the
Maybe Ryan will be one of them, or he'll just be a sidekick. I don't know.
Oh gosh. Is it Boys Varsity? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so Boys Varsity is
the spin-off.
The spin-off, yes. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be influencing each other, the main series and the varsity series. Apparently Soldier Boy is going to be in the varsity spin-off, but there's going to be some new, there's going to be some
and when does it take place? Because James was saying that it takes place at the same time as season 3 took place.
Yes, I believe so. So let's see. So it says Eric Kripke recently confirmed that season 3 will affect the show's spin-off college series, a superhero college series. So
the G-Men.
So you're going to see the same issues and storylines season 3 have that'll be seen in the first season of the Varsity. The presidential campaign is going to be in the background, and then things that are happening in the school are both a reaction to the season 3 of The Boys. So there's a good chance that might be influencing like who gets picked for the 7, for example. There's going to be cameos in it from the superheroes from the main show. So he's going to have some cool cameos. So you're going to see a lot of crossover with the characters. Maybe Homelander, I'm sure, will make an appearance. That would make the most sense to me. Maybe the Deep and A-Train will make cameos. I'm sure Ashley, if she has anything to do with as the CEO, will make a cameo. I don't know if the Boys will make cameo per se, but I expect the Vought superheroes to make a cameo.
Yeah, that's what King's Portal was telling me yesterday morning. He said he was going to remind me again today.
Yes.
G-Men. Okay.
G-Men.
So that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Also, Homelander is going to demand crazy loyalty from the new 7. I hope one of them is this like cyborg Stormfront, like all patched up and ready to go.
She's not coming back. I do think since he said Black Noir is coming back, I think we assume that since no one knows that Black Noir's died, they're going to bring someone in to replace him as Black Noir, and everyone in the outside world just see him as Black Noir. He's never died or anything like that. So since Eric Kripke's already said we're going to see that, we can already count he'll be the 4th person to be a part of the team. So that just leaves us with 3 more roles to fill, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to see in season 4?
What do I want to see?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, I'd like to see one of the bad superheroes, whether it be, they're all not great, but either Homelander or the Deep, because I can't stand the Deep. Someone to get their just desserts. I don't think it's going to be Homelander because I think he's going to be in it till the final seasons. But yeah, I like to see someone kind of pay for some of the stuff they've done.
Tech Knight was so awesome. I love the way that he got off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And I think I'd like to see the new dynamics. I'm really excited to see with the Boys, the new dynamic with Annie being a part of the Boys, what that's going to look like. And of course, more backstory for some of these characters. Because we haven't, I loved seeing a little bit of Annie's backstory in the pageant that she was in with her mom, showing her weird tick that she has, right? Where she So I like to see a little bit more of the backstory. And maybe Huey, because for me, Huey, started off as this character who's kind of wanting to find revenge for his girlfriend that A-Train accidentally killed. He has the romantic storyline with Starlight. Then this season, he has he feels inferior to his girlfriend, even though he had lied to her and said that he never would. But where can we take his character from here? So that's where I'm going to be really interested to see what they do with Huey next season to keep him an intriguing lead character in not just heading off as some jokey, third wheel in the Boys, where he's not super powered. He's not, I want to see what they're going to do with Huey. So
you are right. Like, part of the thing about Huey was that he was the level-headed one that kind of kept everything together. So in the show, he's kind of he's become Huey has become kind of like the leading man because Jack Quaid is a good-looking guy. He's not timid. He's not shy.
Yes.
He's a lot different than the comic counterpart. So I don't know. Maybe somebody brought up maybe we'll see Terror back, which would be great. And Omar loved Boys Season 3. The show is so bonkers and some of the best superhero TV show that is not DC nor Marvel. Absolutely.
Agreed.
I want to know who is Homelander's mom. Don't make it Stormfront. That's a geek strategy, but also a Greek tragedy.
Good point, because they took the DNA from Soldier Boy, but where'd the female DNA come from?
So is that really what they went with? Because I thought that he said it wasn't.
I thought it was. That is the DNA. He was basically a test tube baby.
And they made him, and he thought he was special. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Quit neglecting Huey and M. Who's M? Eminem?
I think it's MM. Yeah, MM. He had a little bit more of a storyline this season with his daughter.
Nice team ups.
Yeah, so I would like to see. Yeah, I could see more for him as well. That's why those two characters, if they're not careful, they can fall flat next season and just become background characters to the more interesting characters like Frenchie and Kimiko and of course Butcher and even Starlight. So they have to be really careful where they tread with those two characters.
I think it will be Homelander running and taking the presidency, and Ryan embracing his powers and further indulging in reverence of being a god. Oh my gosh, yeah. They can go all kinds of route. I'm just excited to see where it goes from here.
I agree. It's gonna be
gives you a little bit of hope with Starlight joining the boys at the end, and you're like, oh, something to look forward to. And then, you see how people just react to Homelander blowing up that dude's head for not agreeing with him. And damn, it's
just terrifying.
Homelander 2020. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, Raphael.
You know it's coming. I mean, I love the satire there when he's talking about like the media, when he's looking at the camera and he's like, don't believe everything the media tells you, it's all crap. This is what's really going on. And then the use of social media that Starlight did.
Yes, perfect. Oh, I love that. That was perfect.
Let's see. Question. I'm still wondering if Ryan wants to be saved from his father, Homelander. We don't know. It seems like he wanted to be with him.
Yeah. I mean, by the end of it, it sounds like
That's Soldier Boy started Hero Chapter with Stormfront. Oh, nice. I thought Stormfront maybe the mom, her, and Soldier Boy found her hero-gasm after all. I can see Vought using the super bag of great Homelander. Michael Keaton cameo. I think Michael Keaton. Probably not. He's too busy filming Morbius 2.
And it's Batman.
It's Morbin time.
Super Earth, Batgirl, Batwoman. I don't know what he's doing. He's definitely not doing a Flash.
That is done. Todd getting his just desserts and being lasered in half.
That is something I would love to see. There's a character I would be okay with getting. Yes. That's it. That's the character.
Same.
Not Homelander, but him. I'll even keep the Deep around longer, but just someone kill off Todd, please. I just like that man.
Did you think Kimiko having romance feelings for Frenchman or close? She see him as a brother. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's there, right? Something is there.
Yeah, something is there. It's hard to classify. They kissed, or she kissed him, but she does see him as family. So
I don't know. And I thought.
It did. We
revealed it. There was one of our viewers that loved it, though. Do you remember that?
Oh, there was a viewer who was comment bombing us about how great Morbius was.
That it was better than all the MCU stuff, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anything else, Panda?
Nope, nothing else. Nope. So
let's talk about our next show. When is that going to be? You want to do a show on Wednesday at 8 p.m. to wrap up Ms. Marvel?
Ms. Marvel. Yeah, so we'll do a show at 8 p.m. just to wrap up the season of Ms. Marvel, give our thoughts. We didn't give our review in the last couple episodes, but I think we'll just save all that for our final review.
Was that you, Diego? Are you the one that
No, it was not Diego. I remember this guy
you.
had a very distinct name, and like I think he had a Venom or Morbius
Hit a Morbius.
icon,
Oh
maybe.
man.
And then Friday, we're still kind of open in the air about what we're doing on Friday. We don't have any major releases coming out.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should bring back Was It Really That Bad?
That's what I was thinking.
Really like that. I thought about I've got a couple of ideas to shoot your way too.
Okay,
What
maybe we'll
else
put
is
up
there
a
to
poll.
watch other than a couple more shows of Miss Marvel? I mean, Miss Marvel wraps up next Wednesday, right? That's 6 episodes.
Yeah. Yep, that's the last episode. So there's a She-Hulk comes out August 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So when does Andor come out? As far as if you're doing, but August 31st, so that's a while too.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a break, so maybe we should bring back Was It Really That Bad? Let the viewers vote for what movies we should watch. And throw maybe a Was It Really That Good in there. Those are a lot of fun because those superhero movies have been around for a while.
Yes, it's always fun to do some of those and come back to it. We pull up some amazing gifts from superhero movies gone by.
Can't wait for Morbius 2.
No.
Yeah, Morbius 2 is coming back. Honorable mention to the legend, Kelly LeBrock, Jacqueline Marlon Brando too, yes. Off-topic question, but would you recommend the Infinite Crisis Omnibus? It is my favorite DC event, so of course I recommend it. Yes. The main supervillain I want to see get what he deserves is Ezra Miller.
He may, guys. Or they may. They may.
You're such a classy lady.
Horses.
When does Sandman and Paper Girls. When does Paper Girls come out in Sandman?
That's a good question. Sandman will come out. Nope.
Not. Thought Sandman was coming out like in the summer.
August 5th. All right, so that's coming up very shortly. So Sandman's going to be coming up. So we only have a couple of weeks then with limited things to. We do have Super Pets coming out in theaters if we want to review DC's Super Pets.
We'll let our daughters review that. Let's see.
That would be amazing.
It's Morbin time.
July 29th is Paper Girls. So actually, that'd be our most recent one.
All right. I think we did do Was It Really That Bad? We did a Green Lantern Was It Really That Bad a year or so ago, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. It was.
We talked about what's his name from
Taika Waititi was in it. Remember?
That's right. He was like his sidekick, his friend.
Awful. That movie was awful.
God. Yes, Peter Skarsgård. We were talking about Peter Skarsgård and his. Yeah.
I had to watch it twice because of Was It Really That Bad? Let's see here. I think Paper Girls is at the end of this month. Is it?
Yeah, July 29th. I just said it. Mm-hmm.
What's Paper Girls on?
Paper Girls. I thought it was on Amazon.
Is it Amazon? Oh, sweet. That means it'll be released worldwide, right? I know some.
Yes.
I know some people overseas that watch our show don't have streaming, so they can't or don't have some of these things that are available over there. Yeah, I can't wait for Sandman either. It's weird because at first I was like, no, leave Sandman alone. But I guess we'll see. Also, why would someone ask if they would get Infinite Crisis Omnibus after saying that it is their favorite event? I don't know.
Maybe they just
because it is an expensive buy. I mean, it's $150. I don't know. It's okay. I don't mind answering that question. So yes, we will be back on Wednesday with our review of Miss Marvel, the whole show, and episode 6. And then we'll leave it up to you all to decide what's it really that bad. We'll put up a poll on our YouTube channel for you all to vote on what you all want us to watch and torture ourselves through. We didn't do Ghost Rider. Did we do Rise of the Silver Surfer? Those.
No, we just did the first one. We didn't do the second.
And Punisher. We still have to do the Punisher ones, right?
Thomas Jane Punisher, right? That's one.
Man-Thing straight to video.
Yeah, we still have a couple things.
Oh my God, dude! Let me tell you something. You can do Hellboy, since that's it. Wait, why is it in the news?
Well, because remember David Harbour? I sent you that link about how he said he called up after that. How he called up Ryan Reynolds. How do you survive after this? You survive because you're famous. You'll be fine. But we did do an actual review. We went and saw it in theaters, and then we reviewed it. Hellboy 2019. So
we were the only ones in the theater, and I remember going, "Oh my God, how long?"
That Baba Yaga scene was in. I was like, "I'm done. This is
how long is this movie?"
Yes.
Let's see here. Thank you so much for the super chat, Kingsport Cow. That Deep be getting on my last nerve. Y'all got any thoughts on the Deep in his future? ¿Qué pasa, Omar? Espero que tú y Melanie estés bien. Estamos bien, hermano. And as far as the Deep, he got on my nerves in season 1. And this season, like I said, I think he's comic relief. And nobody takes him seriously. He is literally...
I feel bad for him, then I don't feel bad for him.
I don't feel bad for him at all. If he was killed off instead of Black Noir, I would have been good with that.
Ditto.
How many octopus jokes can you really tell?
Well, we're going to run out of them soon, I'm sure.
Right. Then we're moving on. I mean, dolphins, squid. What were we moving on to? How about if you can find the first
anglerfish?
Oh, like the was it the Goyer film? Was that it? No.
The one that never was released.
Yeah, it was never released.
Yeah, I think we talked about trying to find that and doing
it. Start with Batman by Scott Snyder. Are you guys excited for Battle of the Super Sons animated movie? Yes, I am. We did review a couple of animated films. They were a lot of fun. We did. What did we do? Can't remember.
Oh shoot!
We've been doing this show for a long time.
Yeah,
we did Bleach. Bleach was a lot of fun. We reviewed Bleach.
That's one of our first reviews we did. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Panda. All right. Start us off. Everybody, thank you for watching. This lady's going to start us off. Roger Corman, thank you so much.
Yes. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at NearMintCon. Remember to check us out on SpreadJob for some great Near Mint Condition merchandise. And also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support our channel and do great things like join Melanie for a book club, which I will be joining this time around. So I'm really excited. Yay! Exciting. And of course, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Good journey, everyone. We will see you on Wednesday for the Ms. Marvel wrap up. And we'll send out a poll soon about was it really that bad?
That's all she wrote.
Peace out, Cub Scout.
No. Good journey.
Good journey. I already said it once. How many times do I say it?
Oh,